Good afternoon, everyone. We'll continue our discussion from the previous class. In the last class, we had seen what is for loop and what for iteration. We have seen that it's a sequential iteration where we know based on a condition how many iterations we have to make. Okay, mostly in Python, many of the objects that we get are iterable objects. That means we can iterate over them one element after another. And we have seen the syntax of the for loop. So for some target in an iterable object, and we have to include all the statements that we want to execute under the for loop with the same indentation. That is, the same spacing should be given to all the statements and they should be under the for loop. In the previous class, we have seen that strings are also iterable objects. We have seen that for every letter in a given string, we can iterate over that. And we have also seen about the range function. Okay, so hopefully you have understood what the range function is. We have seen that this also returns an iterable object. It returns from values from 1 to 5. Okay, for example, in this case, the value that n takes is from 1 to 5, excluding the boundary condition 6, that is the rightmost value or the end value. Okay, we have seen that the range function can take the beginning or the starting value, the ending value, and a step size. A beginning value, if you don't give any beginning value, the default value will be taken as 0. And the default step size is taken as 1. Okay, the minimum argument, the least argument that we can give is the end. Okay, so we have seen with the range example of how to generate a table. Okay, we have seen that for a given we can generate a table of say 12, and we can change the value of I from 1 to 6, excluding the value 7. So we will be able to get this sort of printing out, like I will take the value from 1 to 6. Okay, and we have also seen the example that is strings are also iterable in Python. So let's continue our discussion from the previous class. Okay, one more thing. I hope you have all looked at all the various ways in which the range function can be used. Okay, so if you don't give any, if you give only one single value, the range function will assume that you are starting with the default value 1 and the step size is 1. So this will go on till 9 because it will exclude the last value 10. Okay, and you can give a step size of positive numbers or negative numbers. If given the wrong conditions, we can also end up with an empty list, that is I will not take any value. Okay, that is also possible. And we have also seen one problem where we have nested an if else loop. Okay, here we have just taken the if decision, singular decision, but we can extend the same logic to if else, or even if else, and we have embedded this or nested this under this for loop. Okay, we have seen how we can generate or print the first n even or odd numbers based on this condition. So let's continue our discussion from the previous class. If you have any questions, you can ask me.